I can't stop looking at it. I just can't stop. Like, this is the most badass Lego set ever. What's going on, everybody? How you all doing? So today we are looking at the set that everyone's thinking about, everyone's talking about, everyone is trying to get their hands on, and that is the LEGO Ideas Pirates of Barracuda Bay. Set number 21322, 2,545 pieces, and it is the 30th set in the LEGO Ideas line. Now, like I already said at the beginning of this video, this thing is just badass. This thing is amazing. It is, I'm gonna say this right now, this was the most enjoyable Lego set to build for me in a long time. I think the last time I had this much fun building a Lego set was probably the Ideas Saturn V rocket. That one was super fun for me. But this one takes the cake on the most enjoyable building experience. For me personally, might not be for you, but this was so much fun to build, and I mean, look at it. Look at the size of this thing. This thing is freaking huge. Like, I had to sit on the side of the table because there's literally nowhere for me to get behind this. Like, it is so big. It's huge, it's colorful, it just looks freaking awesome, and it's all good stuff. All good stuff. So we're gonna dive into this set, full review. First things first, let's take a quick look at the box, if I can fit it in the frame, because the box is huge as well. The box is super rad, super cool box. Love the coloring. The background is awesome. Having this yellow strip and the blue text on the front of the box it pays so many respects to the original Lego Black Seas Barracuda, which this set is based off of, as some of you may know. But it just gives off that vibe of that era of Lego, and I really enjoy that. The art on the back is also just as good, with the map background showing you how to switch the island to the ship, all the pictures of the interior, just good stuff. And that's nothing new. Lego is usually pretty damn good at box art, and that just steps it up another level. So back to the set. Why don't we get a little bit closer in, take a closer look at this thing, and kind of do a full walk around, looking at all the details and just feasting your eyes upon the awesomeness that is this set. So let's get to it. All right, friends, so like I said, this set is absolutely massive. So getting the entire thing in frame as close as I can is not the easiest thing to do. I might have to zoom in and do all that stuff, but I'm gonna try to give you as many good looks at this thing as I possibly can, show you as much of the detail that it has, because it has a ton of detail. But I guess we'll just go from left to right. Luckily I have this swiveling table that I can kind of spin the whole thing around. But starting over here on the left, you can see we have the front end of the Barracuda ship, and it's kind of tilted up at an angle, which I think is super cool. I like that touch. It didn't need to be there, but it makes the set look even better with having the mast kind of tilted at an angle. I think that looks super cool. I'm not going to go into full details of the ship pieces just yet. We'll get more into that once the ship is put together, but obviously this is part of the island. So yeah, over on the back left corner, you have the front of the Barracuda ship up at an angle like that, with a nice rolled up sail up on the front there. Over here in the front left corner, you have a really nice palm tree. There's 3 of these in this set. I really like the design of it. We'll get a little bit more into that too. Another thing that I really like the design of, I'll take one of these off here, is these lamps. I really like these lamps. It's not a crazy design. It's nothing special, but I just love the look of it, and there's tons of them in this set. You'll see them all over the place, but I really like this lamp. I think it looks perfect for the theme, and it's just a good little build. Good little build for sure. Little dock area over there as well. Moving over to the right a little bit, you do have a pig back in the back there. Let me try to get you a better look. You do have a pig in the back there eating some food. That's fun. Just a fun little touch of detail there. There is some stuff in the back there underneath kind of, but I only have one light and I can't really get enough light in there. So once we get all the ship parts off, I'll kind of go through and show you the depths of the island. We're kind of just doing a run around of the outskirts of the set so far. And then moving more over to the right here, we have some more deck area, docking area, a larger space. Back in the back corner there are some crates with some food items in them, like pineapples and bananas and pieces of bread. Another one of those lamps here. Moving more over to the right, we have the entrance, the front of Jose's Inn. You got a nice little cannon here with some cannonballs, some nice foliage. Oh yeah, that's another thing. There's tons of foliage around this set everywhere. You'll see it. If I don't mention it, just keep your eyes peeled. There's tons of detail in this set I probably won't mention, but you know, just look around. It's everywhere. Another thing is the front, the kind of water's edge here. You do have some sandy humps, I guess you would call them. I don't know, sandy hills. It's sand. All right? It's just sand. And then you got some crabs here and there, some rocky areas. But yeah, back to the good stuff. Moving more over to the right, you have some more docking area here up to the second level there with the stairs. And right there on the side, let me get you a little bit closer. Right here, you can see the Jose's Inn sign, which is a super cool touch. That is a reference to the fan designer's father, which I think is a super cool touch that they added that in there. And besides that, it's just a really dope printed sign. I really like that look. While I've got the camera off the tripod, we'll move over to the right a little bit more and look at one of my favorite parts of the entire set. This little statue head here. So not only is the entire set a reference to the original Lego Black Seas Barracuda, but this right here, this is a replica reference of the classic Lego Pirates Islanders theme. And I think that's super cool. They didn't have to put that there, but they did, and it's one of my favorite parts of the set, for sure. Some more foliage, and then behind the head here, you have a couple barrels back there. A couple barrels with an oar and some tools and a bottle. More foliage under the dock there. And then here are two more of those awesome palm trees. The coconuts underneath the palm trees are also super cool, using recolored minifigure heads as those coconuts. I think that's awesome. I love it. Good stuff. So moving up to kind of the second level here, you saw that staircase that leads up to the second level. That is a staircase that leads you up to the roof of Jose's Inn, or the deck of the Black Seas Barracuda. You can see you have some more foliage here and another cannon with a super cool, I really like the way that this kind of barrier here has that curve in it, that cutout in it for the cannon. I really like that. Over there you have some more cannon balls, another one of those lamps here. And then on top, on the roof here, up on the deck, there's not too much. You have a couple crates, some barrels with some weapons in them, and then over there you have some beer bottles, some rum bottles, some soda bottles, I guess. Whatever you want to call those, whatever you want to say that those are. Now I'm knocking stuff all over the place. Whatever you want to say those are, I'm gonna go ahead and say they're rum bottles because it's freaking pirates, but you know. And then over in the back there behind the mast here, you have a small little jail cell with a skeleton in it. They forgot to let him out apparently, but nice little build, fun little thing. Got some foliage and a nice roof on the top. Super good stuff. Fun little detail. And then moving over to the left from that, you have this large section here, which is the captain's quarters and the kitchen of the ship or the island, whatever it may be to you. Some nice foliage up here, like how they have this ship wheel just hanging on a chain there. I think that's a super cool detail. And yeah, the stairs here, they just go up into a doorway that leads into the kitchen. We'll look at more of that from the back, but yeah, other than that, up here you just have these very large masts here, and you got the 2 rolled up sails on this one, the smaller rolled up sail on the front one, but these 2 large sails, they just give the set, I think when you look at this set, this is one of the first things you look at, are these really bright red and white sails that are rolled up. Rolling up these sails, I will say, breaks your heart just a little bit, because you're like, oh my god, if I roll these, is it gonna be like when I get a brand new rug and I unroll it? Is it not gonna be fully unrolled for like 12 years? But no, it's perfectly fine. They will unroll just fine when you attach them to the rest of the mast when you build the ship. It'll be just fine, don't worry about it. But yeah, super cool look there. And obviously on the top you have your pirate flag, bigger pirate flag here, smaller pirate flag on the forward mast, and you know, all sorts of good foliage on there as well, vines and all good stuff growing out of there. So let's spin this guy around and kind of look at the back section a little more, because that's where you can kind of see some of the interior detail. The only bad thing that I have to say about this set is that the interior of Jose's Inn, this whole section of the set, you can't really access the interior other than this opening right here. You can't take the roof off like a modular building. You kind of have to disassemble the entire top of the set, including removing that giant mast, which is not the most fun thing to do. I really wish there was a way that you could just remove the roof of this section of the ship to kind of look on the inside, but I'll show you the inside once I remove the pieces. But yeah, this is the back side here, another one of those palm trees. This is the back side of the jail cell here, and then like I said, I'll show you more of underneath in there once I get the ship parts off and I can get more light in there. But from here, this is kind of the tallest section of the physical like living area of the island, not including the masts. You have a nice rope ladder type thing here to let you get to the different levels, and you also have this small staircase getting from the roof of Jose's Inn up to the captain's quarters inside of that door, which I'll show you the interior of that very soon. But just kind of focusing on the outside right now. In here is the kitchen section of the ship and the island. Nice stove in there, and some fish and bottles and food items and all that good stuff. Up on the top of the set here, there isn't a ton of stuff going on. This is the roof of the captain's quarters. Well, technically it's the poop deck of the ship of the Black Seas Barracuda, but right now it's just kind of like the lookout area, I would assume. You got a nice cannon here, some more cannonballs, and then that kind of pillar right there is what will hold the ship wheel once you put the ship back together. But right now it's just kind of holding a musket and a sword on the other side, and then again another one of those really nice lamps up here in the front. But all good stuff. So let's kind of take a look at the interior a little bit more of some of these parts. So this right here is the Jose's Inn section of the ship and the island, and I kind of just wanted to show you what you have to do to get inside. Like I said, there's not an easy way. You kind of have to remove everything that is up here, including this giant, see if I can get that off, this giant mast piece here just has to completely come off, because as you can see, the mast continues down into the deck of the ship. So yeah, it's all just studded in. There isn't any jumpers or tiles or anything like that. You just kind of have to completely disassemble this entire section of the ship to kind of get a good look inside of Jose's Inn. Coming in from the front entrance, you have a nice little pub area here with a bar, a cup, and a candle. And over on the wall there is a printed tile, a photo of a ship. Really like that. And then on the back wall there, you have a keg over in the corner, which is filled with ginger ale or, you know, water or whatever you want to be in there. But like I said, for me, It's freaking pirates, my dude. So that is rum, and then there is more bottles next to that. And then over on the other wall here in the corner, you have a nice little candle with a letter, little table there. And then moving on to the back side of Jose's Inn, you have actually the inn part with the beds, another little table there with a letter and a bottle, 2 beds with a bottle in the middle, a nice little pail over there on the side. And then over on this side you have, get this stuff out of the way. Over on this side you have a nice little table with another candle and a space to hold a hat. And that's pretty much it for the interior here. There's not much else going on inside this middle section of the ship. But on the outside here under these gun ports, you can see that they're not actually gun ports. They are windows. Nice pearl gold pieces there for the windows. I really like that. For people that want this to just be a pirate ship, this whole interior section might be a problem, but nothing some good old modding can't do. And yeah, that is the interior of Jose's Inn. So moving on to this section of the ship, this would be the stern of the ship, where I said the captain's quarters and the kitchen are located. This roof piece here is easily removable. It's not attached to anything. It's just kind of sitting there, and there goes the cannon. But you can just remove that pretty easily and then get a good look on the inside of the captain's quarters. Starting from left to right, he's got his little treasure chest there with some gold and some trinkets in it. On the window there, you have a nice little windowsill with a compass, what looks to be like a feather pen, a little mug. You have an area to hold some maps, and then a nice little candle array there. And over here on the right side wall, you have his folding down bed there. So, you know, captain's got to get some sleep too, and I really like that can be folded away so it can be out of the way. And it's just a nice little detail there to have that fold up into the wall. And then over here in this corner, you do have, if I can get you in there, you do have a nice little bust statue of whoever it may be, but nice little detail. And then in the middle there, last but not least, you have his nice throne. Super cool chair design. I like that, using those gold candle pieces. I think that's super cool. But yeah, nice little area. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I think there could be just a little bit more detail in here, but for the amount of space that they had, I think they did pretty well. So yeah, that's the captain quarters of the ship. Moving down here to the bottom, if I can get you in there, you can see the little kitchen area with the stoves and the food items, and there's a fish over there on that table. Not too much going on, but there's a pot on the stove there, a cookie or whatever that's supposed to be. But nice little kitchen area. And then there's the doorway that leads out to that staircase at the front of the island. And this serves as, when it's the island, this serves as a nice doorway, a nice door for that. This is a really cool section of the ship. Really like that. Now this right here is the bow of the ship, and there really is not too much going on the interior of this section. You can see the forward mast coming down there through the top, and then there's a little pail, and back there, that little build there is actually, it's actually a toilet, my dudes. It's actually a toilet. So yeah, that's about it for the front section of the ship. So after you remove all of the ship parts from the island, this is pretty much what you're left over with. And I don't think there's anything wrong with this, but I did want to show you a few details of the island that I didn't get to show you with the ship parts on top of it, because there just wasn't enough light. I will say right off the bat, this island is not connected. It is in 2 pieces, and there is no way to actually clip it together. There's no clips or hinges or anything like that. It is just 2 separate pieces that come together. And the reason they did that is because when the ship parts are on these 2 sections, it is just so heavy. And I don't think Lego wanted you to even try to pick this up as one full set. So they separated into 2 pieces, so you can't do that at all. Looking at some of the detail, like over here in the water underneath where the ship parts come off, you can see there's some nice flowers and seashell type items there. I think that's a super cool touch. You know, they didn't have to put that under this part, because as the island you won't see this stuff, but the fact that it's there is super cool. Oh, there goes a cannon. The fact that it's there is super cool, and it's a nice little touch. But the right side of the island, this is kind of the stuff I wanted to show you that was just way too dark before. You have a nice little cove here, I guess. Little cave, little hideout. There is a staircase up in there that comes from the front of the island down into here. But back here, there's not too much going on. There's just a couple crates. Just a couple crates and some barrels, some ores on the wall. But coming over here onto this side, you do have a barrel there with a shovel and a broom and a pitchfork. You do have the little pig that I showed you. There is a little pig there. And then in the back, if I can get you in there enough, in the back there is a skeleton. A skeleton wearing an Imperial soldier helmet. I think that's super funny. He's been there a little too long. He's actually missing his leg, but his leg is actually right next to him. That's super fun. I love having that little detail back there. And even underneath in here, you guys probably can't really even see it, but underneath in there's even some flowers and some seashells and a frog. So there's detail everywhere, even on this leftover island piece. All right, so now that we have all of the ship parts removed from the island, I think it's about time that we take a look at the coolest feature that this set has. So yes, it is time to build the Black Seas Barracuda. And there you have it, my friends. There is the completed transformation of the Black Seas Barracuda. This thing, just like the island, is massive, so it's hard to get it in the full frame of the camera, but I'll do my best. It's a process. It is a process to get the island, from the island to this. It's not just like you can take the 3 ship pieces off and snap them together and you have a ship. Like you have to, there's a whole nother bag of parts that you have to add to this. You have to take things off, you have to move stuff around. So it's a process, but it is a fun process. So it's something that I don't think is gonna be too much of a hassle to switch back and forth. However, I will say, just be careful of the sails, because I've already done this twice, I won't lie to you. I built the island the first time, and then I switched it to the ship, and then I switched it back to the island for this video. Just be careful of the sails going back and forth. I've already noticed that on the holes where these sails attach to the masts, there's already a little bit of wear there just from doing it twice. So maybe if you want to switch this over all the time and just look at it in different ways, maybe don't remove the sails and keep rolling them. I don't know, you do what you want to do. I just wanted to let you know that the sails are just be careful. All right, the ship is amazing. I'm pretty much 99% sure that this is how it's going to be staying for me. The pirate ship is one of the main reasons I really wanted this set was for this. So yeah, let's get a little bit closer. So just like the island, the ship is packed full of detail, but obviously some of the details are the same from the ship to the island because they're made out of the same parts, but nevertheless, still packed with detail, packed with super good stuff. So I guess we'll start from the back here and work our way all the way around. Starting from the back here, you have 2 gun ports down at the bottom in the back of the ship. Really like that. 2 nice windows, some nice detailing up here on the stern of the ship, and you do have these nice little lamps here that are made out of these same pieces of all the other lamps in the set that I really liked, so that's super cool. And then obviously you have your pirate flag up on the back there. Of course, moving around this way, you have another nice window here, some nice railing, and you can see you have 4 cannon ports there on the side. There's 4 on either side. You only get 3 cannons in this set, but obviously, as you guys know, that's filled with beds and a bar from Jose's Inn, but you still have 4 gun ports there, which is good. Moving along to the front, you have some nice detailing on the front of the ship, you know, ship style detailing using these flexible Technic axle pieces, some nice railing up on the top, some nice gold windows, and obviously your figurehead like every ship has. This one is just made up of a completely yellow Lego minifigure, a couple pieces from that. Moving around to the other side, it's pretty symmetrical on each side. The only difference over here is that you do get the anchor here coming out of the side, and I'll show you how that works in a minute, but let's move up a little bit, see what we got going on. Moving up to the top of the ship, to the deck of the ship, this section here is the poop deck. I know, it's just funny to say, but not much has changed up here from the setup at the island. I can actually remove this and show you. Not much has changed here except adding the wheel, adding a couple crates and another lantern here, and another barrel in the front, but that's pretty much all that's changed up there. Coming down from the poop deck, there are two really nice staircases with the door to the captain's quarters in the middle. I really like those staircases. It's a very simple design, but I just think it looks super good. And then as far as the deck of the ship goes, the main deck of the ship, there really isn't too much going on. There's just a lot of barrels and storage and treasure chests and crates and all that good stuff, and just a lot of places to put minifigures and set up battles and all that kind of stuff. Whatever you may want to do with your pirate ship, you pretty much have space to do that. And then over here in the front at the forward mast, this is actually how the anchor works, like I said. So if you pull the anchor like this, you can see that thing spinning. You see the spinning going on there? Well, then with your big hands, you can get in there and actually turn that yourself to pull the anchor back in. So that's a super cool detail. I really like that. Nice touch. Didn't need to be there again, but they did it and it's good. So taking a look at some of the minifigures in this set, you do get 8 total. Starting off with this little guy, this is Jack Dark Shark Doubloons. Every minifigure in this set does have a name and a backstory that can be found in the instruction booklet, which is super cool. And all of these figures are based off of figures from the original Lego Black Seas Barracuda from 1989, which is also super cool. So yeah, nice little kid pirate here. Next up we have Quartermaster Riggings, super funny name. This next figure has probably one of the best names of the entire set. This is Robin Loot. Little funny play on words there. This right here is Lady Anchor. Next up is by far my favorite figure of the entire set. This is Tattuga. Little play on words from Tortuga. And right here you have the twins Port and Starbird. Funny, another funny group of names. Port being the one with the red tank top on, and Starbird with the blue tank top. And last but not least, you have Captain Redbeard, of course. Really, really great updated version of Captain Redbeard, the famous Lego pirate. You do also get a shark. Doesn't really count as a minifigure, but yeah. So once you transform the island into the Black Seas Barracuda, you're left with the island and all of this. And all of this is pretty much free range for you to do whatever you want with it. The instructions for the set don't tell you to do anything with this stuff, so that's pretty much free range. There's cannons and cannonballs and boats and a jail cell, signs and oars and bottles, all sorts of stuff for you to do whatever your heart desires to do with those. And this little baggie here that I put together is all of the extra pieces from the set, and there's a lot of good stuff in there too. There's a lot of extra swords, extra string, and just a lot of really good extra parts in there that you can also use too. But you can do pretty much anything you want with these parts. You can add them back to the island to make it look a little less barren. My plan for the island personally, which I've seen a lot of other people doing, is I just ordered a crap ton of parts off of Bricklink to rebuild this island. So I'm gonna leave it like this, but I'm going to make some structures that can attach to this island the same way that the ship parts do. So I don't change the island at all, but I'm adding pieces to it. And I kind of want to go with the style of the original ideas, the original fan submission. So I have big plans for this island that I will show you as I get going with them. But as far as the entire set goes, I think the $200 price point is way worth it for this thing. You're getting a ton of value here. The price to part ratio is really good. Everything is great. Everything is just wonderful, and I think it's all good. And like I said, one of the most enjoyable Lego sets I've experienced in a while. And as of right now, my favorite set of 2020, and that is a true fact. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my first real full-on review of a Lego set. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and gave me a like, a comment, and all the good YouTube stuff that I don't need to tell you. But this is a new channel, so I'm just suggesting. All right, do whatever you want. But yeah, as far as this one goes, I think that's gonna be it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this set. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.